You can see me. I've got the echo back this week. Lovely jubbly. Hope you've all had a good week. Hope it's not been too bad, is it? Bad start. It's going to be horrible. Pretty much over the weekend. Sunday being the best day. If you could just let me know that you see me, please. It's brilliant. Brilliant. I don't know what we're talking about tonight yet, and have much chance to look to be honest. This week's been a busy week, but that's good. I can't moan. Hope you've all had a good week. And I've done a few things in the shop and around the shop. Been quite a productive week. But if you could just let me know that you can see, hear me, I would be grateful. Very grateful. Don't know what we're talking about tonight. Probably. Hi, Lisa. Thank you. Brilliant. Can you see and hear me right? Hiya, David. Good. I think everybody can see and hear me then. Russ will be joining us in a minute. As I say, hopefully. We have got. Yeah, I think it's probably until Russ comes back, Lisa. It's echoing. It's awful because I can hear my own voice. Evening, Flugel. Phil. Just wait for Russ and that echo should go. Hopefully. Just going to drop him in if it doesn't. Hopefully he will be here in a minute. Got a very big event coming up next week. Can't wait. Hi, Steph. HMS Warrior. Yeah, cracking. Good week. You? Cheers, Steve. Got your message. Hope you're all right, mate. Long time no see, no hear. Get in contact. We'll be in contact, mate.
Oh. I'm here.
Everybody's saying they can hear echo.
Yeah, you will do, because you got the speakers on.
All right. Told you.
That'll disappear right this minute once we've got the... Right, let's go. Sit back, relax, let's go. Hit the button.
As a duly designated representative of the city, I order you to cease any and all supernatural activity and return forthwith to your place of origin or to the nearest convenient parallel dimension.
Drop your bloody pen.
No.
Whoa. Just hold up 1 minute there.
Got it back.
Who you're gonna call, but it's who you're gonna listen to. And if you ain't afraid of no ghosts, stay tuned for the EGH Paranormal Talk Show.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages. It's Friday, the 5th of May. I nearly said April then, but it's not. We're back. We're back, guys. We're live and exclusive on Pulse Talk Radio. Welcome along. And guess what? My co-host is there as well, Mr. Simon Carney.
Hi, mate. You all right?
I am all good. I am all good in the hood. I am hoping that we are coming over nice and clear. I hope we are also live on Pulse Talk. It seems all right. It seems like we are all okay. I'm hoping. I am hoping. That's the main thing. You can hear us. You can see us. We are live over on Pulse Talk Radio, boys and girls. And we are also over on Facebook and we are on the YouTube as well. So welcome, welcome one and all. How are we? What's it like in your area? How have we been? And let's ask Simon how he's been.
Yeah, well, good, mate. Very good. Yeah, not bad. Busy week.
Anything's beeping at me.
Yeah, Lisa says we're very clear now. Good. That's good.
That's what we want. That's what we want.
Yeah, don't forget it's a full moon tonight, so bathe your crystals.
It's a bit of a funny one, though, this moon. Very odd, this moon.
Is it?
Don't feel right, this moon.
Okay.
Don't know why. But no, get your crystals out. Let them energies bathe. But this moon feels absolutely odd. Very odd. Last night, it was really odd. As soon as my eyes made contact with the moon last night, the headache that come on last night from literally making first eye contact with it, and then I just could not shake it. I think I lost it about 2 hours ago.
That's good.
2 hours ago, I think that disappeared, my head. But I've got to turn that light down. That's right in my eyes. Let's say who's in the chat. We've got Lisa, we've got Dave, we've got Flugelbender in the chat. Stephanie's in the chat. Welcome, everybody. Let me know that you're in the chat. You are welcome to join in the chat as well. If you want to get in contact with us, there's a couple of ways you can do it. You can, if you're listening over on Pulse Talk and you want to see our ugly mugs, come over to either Facebook or YouTube and you'll see us live, so you can join the chat, put in everything there. If you're old school, you can go on to the email and send us an email at info@essexghosthunters.co.uk, or if you want to send me a text message or ring into the show, you can call 07487 33 16 88. 0748 733 1688. That is if you want to join us in the chat tonight. So either way is happy. If you're brave enough to give us a call, we can.
Yeah, be good.
We can. Any questions you want to throw over to us as well, you can. But I'm just going to start off with an article that I read today, which was quite a good article. Okay. I printed it out, but I left it at work. Like a dumbass. All right? Yes, I know. But it was Friday. The boss said I could go home early, so I dropped everything and run like the clappers. So that was as simple as it gets. But it was an article with the new owners of the Witch Farm.
Oh, brilliant.
Of the one in Wales that we was talking about.
Yeah, the one with yeah. Can't remember the names. That was a long time back.
Yeah, you know, I can't think what it was. You know, the actual names. Was their name?
Keep notes. I might have it.
Witch. What's it called? Witch Farm. BBC Sounds. Let's have a look at that. Then I can get your names up. There we go. Danny Robbins returns. Liz and Bill.
That's it.
From Forced to Flee Hell Froggen. Or Fagog.
Yeah,
or however you say it. But I don't quite know how. I had everything obviously highlighted to read out on the show and blah, blah, blah. Long story short of it all, okay, is that the first one was, yes, they knew they were moving into a haunted house. B, they were very, very avid and interested in the paranormal. And B, nothing has happened since they have been there.
Wow.
And they're quite happy there at the moment.
Wow.
But I don't know how old the article was. I don't know if it was before or after
Well,
the
that's
act.
good. Because then it leads you to one or two things, doesn't it? That either the activity stopped for reason that it's finished, it's got its message across, or it's gone with the people that lived there and moved out.
But she said in the actual program, though, didn't she, the Witch Farm, that it never followed her to her new place.
Yeah, but
He died, didn't he?
Yeah.
He's passed of, I don't quite know. Obviously, the alcohol and all that addiction didn't help.
yeah.
But no, sorry guys, if you're just tuning in, there is a BBC podcast or whatever you want to call it from BBC Sounds. It's called The Witch Farm. Okay, it's by Danny Robbins.
Brilliant.
And go and have a listen to it. Because he did two. He did the Battersea Poltergeist, and he's done the Witch Farm. Okay, very very good. Great listen along. Very detailed. They've called it the Welsh Amityville. Long story short, haunted house, exorcism in, people flee.
Yeah.
It's
And now it's quiet. Well, supposedly.
very quiet, but they did buy the house because it was haunted. They're very, very keen to experience the paranormal. So, you know, I don't.
Could be the case, though. That
Could be.
could be the case that you know as well as I do. Some people that come on investigations with us, they want it so much that it doesn't always happen for them because they want it so much.
But in this, I get that. I do get that, and you're right. And I feel you're right in what you're saying. But this case was totally different to other venues. This is,
Yeah, I agree.
you know,
with
this
that.
is that.
Was the family. Perhaps it was attached to the family. Perhaps it was attached to him. Perhaps
Potentially,
Yeah.
potentially, but it also makes me feel that it was a ruse.
So you think it's a hoax?
There's a part of me now that thinks it does because I don't know if this. You know, we've heard of people from the local area walking into it. We was led down the road that the farmer next door wouldn't go into the house because he'd been there before. We had a carer of the previous resident that wouldn't go in there because it was too frightening. And I get all that, but there's now a part of me that is firmly wedged in this. That's, you know, that not necessarily it's. I'm not sitting here and saying I fully believe it was a hoax. That's not what I'm saying. But it's what I do feel now. That is that there is a good case that it could quite easily have been a hoax. Easier than it did, because I think they sold this house as the most, you know, how it was portrayed on the podcast, and it was, you know, as if the devil himself wouldn't even reside in this place. You know, and I get that.
They did not sell that for a profit, though, did they? They sold it at a loss.
I don't know.
Yeah, they sold it at a loss because they were broken. They were broke. They were near bankruptcy.
But wasn't it rented?
Well,
At
some
one
of it
point.
was rented, but I don't know. I know she was close that they couldn't go anywhere else.
But that's what I'm, you know, and the more I sort of,
It's a hoax. It's a hoax, and it's
Yeah.
it's a great hoax. But I wouldn't. No, I don't sit on the fence. But for people to tell that story, that's got to be that's giving it some horrible to the paranormal world. In all honesty, if they've hoaxed it, That's a horrible thing to do.
but it's
Horrible.
you've also, you know, you could also link that obviously to the Enfield poltergeist, because there was slight.
You could link it to the Battersea poltergeist. You could link it to any
Yeah, but with the
poltergeist or any.
but with the
thing that you-
Battersea, but the thing with the Battersea poltergeist, there wasn't too much evidence to say that she was hoaxing it. apart from the handwriting. I never really sensed it. She never come out.
Keith disproved a lot on the Battersea Poltergeist.
Yeah, but he couldn't disprove it.
He did on the Enfield and all that, didn't he?
But he couldn't disprove it as much in a way that, you know, obviously they didn't, the handwriting they felt come from her, didn't they?
Yeah.
They felt that she wrote the letters and things like that. And I can see that. But there was still...
Yeah, but that was a longer time back as well. That was in 1958, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was a
long time back.
It was a long time back.
So
And
not in the 70s or 80s, so there wouldn't have been that much publicity about it. It would have just been
but it was, you know, it was around that sort of time though that it was, I won't say it was frowned upon, because that's not what I'm saying, but it wasn't as open as the paranormal field is today.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, then, so what you think is that the Welsh farm was a hoax, Enfield was a hoax. So are you saying that sort of?
No. I'm not saying it's a full hoax. I'm not saying it's a full hoax.
Can it? If it's hoax.
But no, there's a potential there to be a hoax.
Yeah, there's a potential.
There's a potential there to be a hoax.
There's a potential in anything we do in the paranormal world to be a hoax.
Yeah, but there's some things that I wouldn't. There's some bits that I would not say follow the evidence, because that's not necessarily the right way. Because we've never been in that situation. We would never have been in that. If we was in that, you know what I mean. If we was in that, if we was asked to investigate, it's different.
In that sort of situation.
No. But that if we was safe, is what I'm saying is if we was asked to go and investigate the Battersea Poltergeist at the time, if we was into, we can't really get 100% accuracy because we wasn't there. That's what I'm saying.
No,
so
you're right.
We're using people's anecdotal evidence, and with the Battersea Poltergeist, it was just Kieran O'Keefe's putbacks that was disproving it. If that makes sense, that was a scientist disproving it. What I'm putting is that the people. It's like no different to the cage, so to speak. That person went in there afterwards, and nothing happened. But me and you spoke about that and said, well, if she didn't believe or he didn't believe,
yes, yeah.
But this person's gone in there wanting it to happen, and they've bought the property on the fact that it was haunted. Now that's no different to me going to, if I was to, there's a good chance if me and you was to buy the cage, there's a good chance that we would have some form of evidence. It could be little, it could be big. But with the witch farm,
Not me walking around that cage, no.
That's what I'm saying. It could be what we're saying. What I'm saying is you could find a little bit of evidence.
Maybe, yeah.
It doesn't matter if you're into the knowledge of it. It doesn't matter how the cage reacts, and we both got the same sort of opinion on the cage, and we have been there, and we can't. You know, we had that séance when two of our team members want to kill each other.
Yeah.
You know, so we was inside that. We had the K2s going up and down the stairs. So
We did, yeah.
if we'd bought that property, I'm pretty sure we could have got that energy.
But
now,
do you think, though, if we bought the witch farm, we would get the energy? Or if we bought Enfield house, we'd get the energy?
But that's what I'm saying. That's my whole point of it. These people have bought the farm to get the evidence, and nothing's happened. So that, you know, that's the only difference. You know, we can link things in. Obviously, we've got, you know, the Battersea Poltergeist. The only negative energy.
The house has gone, hasn't it?
Yeah.
The house has gone. Everything's gone in that unfortunately. And
But
I don't know how old the woman must. I think she's going to be in her 90s now.
I think she was in her late 80s when
Yeah.
the because they did a live show with her.
Yes.
They did a live show with her. So, but the only disproved evidence was a scientist disproving it.
Yes, but then,
There was no human evidence to disprove it. And when we go to sort of, that's why I look at the Battersea Poltergeist as one of them cases that you can't prove or disprove. Then you go to the Enfield. Then you've got the two children in question saying they did it on purpose. So, what I don't understand is how can they make that credible? Because they've tarned it themselves.
She was doing it on purpose. When she said she was doing it on purpose, she was trying just to get it to all go away, and all the reporters to go away. Yeah, you might,
but that's
scoff at that.
so.
You might scoff at that, but you were back in the 80s, and I don't know, perhaps not. Well, we haven't lived it, have we?
No. But this is what I'm saying is when you look at these cases and have to make judgment on them, when it comes to the Battersea Poltergeist, there was nothing in evidential that you could categorically say it was a hoax. It was a scientist trying to disprove it. That's his job to do so.
Yeah.
So for me, I would always side with the person being possessed.
Right.
Yeah?
But did he not try and disprove the witch bomb? Was he not in that?
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. This is so. I'm now taking Kieran O'Keefe away from anything else for a minute. So we go to the Battersea, the Enfield case.
Yeah.
So I don't see. I do sit very much on the fence with the Enfield Poltergeist. I'm probably sit more in the side of it was a hoax because of the two people that were the sole possession said we did it to gain so and so to get people off. I don't see how you can criticise that, and that's the only thing that makes me wobble on that case. They've got two people there that admitted something they shouldn't have done. So how further can we push?
It was one thing.
Yeah,
it
but
wasn't the whole scenario.
when it
was
comes
one
to
little thing.
But when it comes to the paranormal, one thing has a knock-on effect.
Yeah, agree.
If she kept her mouth shut and never said anything, I believe that case becomes more credible. Because you can't... How can I take her word for anything? She's faked something
But
before.
we've got to take people's words for things, haven't we? Because otherwise we'd just go through and think everything was a hoax, surely.
No, but
Anybody that's telling you a story, anybody that's telling you their experience,
yeah, but 100%. 100%. I'm with you 100%.
and it's probably real to them. It probably is real to them. And
But if it was real...
some could be fabricating a bit, I would imagine, and some things over time is going to change the stories somewhat because your memories become different as you go along. 10 years ago, it's going to be a different story to what you were going to tell today. I would say.
Yeah, I'm totally with that. But when you get the main, what do you call it? The main attraction to the story, saying they fabricated.
Well, no, they fabricated one piece. This is what.
Yeah, but that's it. It doesn't matter if it fabricated one piece or 10 pieces. The word fabrication was faked within there. I don't see how anybody can make that credible because you got to judge that person. They faked one bit. There's a good chance they faked others.
Okay.
I just don't. I can't. My head, and it's only my head. I can't go to that place when someone's told me they've fabricated something. That how can I? Unless obviously I was there.
We'll accept the fact then. We will accept the fact that people go to certain places, and we know certain teams and things go in there and fabricate evidence, and yet we will accept those places are haunted.
Yeah, but they haven't come out and told me they've fabricated it.
Well, you've seen it. You've actually seen it with your own eyes. That it's been fabricated. I have, anyway.
I'm not too sure.
Right. So if we let's go for an example. So
Sorry,
told
guys.
the place is haunted. So we're told the place is haunted, yeah.
Yeah.
And teams go in and do this place, and then a certain team goes in there and fakes a bit of evidence that we can quite clearly see across our television screens.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to call that hoax, and then that place isn't haunted because that team's been in there and
Yeah, but this is but that's but it all depends if we're so I've got how I will say it is we go to a haunted venue, yeah, and the fabrication was of the lady in white that's dressed up in a white dress that walks across the lounge.
yeah,
That's the story that's been fabricated.
yeah.
Okay? If we go into that property and we don't get that story, but we get something else, that's still haunted. It's a story it's the story, it's not necessarily what's surrounding, it's the story that people are telling us. So, for example, let me use, you know, the cage, for example. The cage, as for example, you know, we're told the energy of Ursula Kemp lives there. Exactly. You're shaking your head, which is a totally is brilliant. Is because that is how I felt it. I don't think Ursula Kemp was there, but it was haunted.
Yeah, it was.
There's your answer. That's what I'm trying to get. It's not. We're basing our site on the story that we are being told. The house could be haunted, but not by that story.
Right. Okay. Well,
and this is what I'm saying is when I
don't think. Yeah, but I don't think all these stories that we hear are hoaxed.
No, not every single one of them.
I wouldn't call the Witch Farm a hoax. I'm not sure on the Enfield poltergeist. And I'm not sure on the Battersea poltergeist, to be honest.
I'm pretty.
I don't think the Welsh one was. I think what those people experienced was was attached to them somehow.
But for me, I would have attempted that. I would have if I felt it was attached to me, it doesn't matter Tom, Dick or Harry, they always went back. That was my problem with it. If it was that scary.
Yeah, but if you have lived somewhere. Right, but she always went back to the cage.
But she never lived there.
She did at one point.
Yeah, but she went and then and then rented it out.
Yeah, but she was.
These never rented it out.
Yeah, we know that she
yeah.
She could never go back to that property, but funny enough, she was always in that property.
Yeah.
So that to me is hoaxing something.
Yeah, 100%. I'm with you on. I'm not even gonna worry. We both sit on the same side of the fence with the cage. It is haunted, but not by what the people are telling us it's haunted by.
The thing is, I'm never going to get into the Witch Farm, and I'm never going to get into Enfield, and I'm never going to get into Battersea because Battersea's gone. So I'm never going to get in them places to actually get a feel of the vibes. That's probably the only way I would be able to say to you, yeah, I think you might be right. I don't think there's anything here, or because that's the only way I'd be able to feel it. I wouldn't. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, no, but that's what I'm saying. That was my point at the beginning of the conversation. We're never going to be able to.
No, we're not.
The Enfield one, there's yes, you can still there, and then Witch Farm is still there. Higo Fanog Fangog is still there. The only one that isn't there is the Battersea home. But what I'm saying is the only one that never ever come out and there's another side of the story was the Battersea poltergeist. It was just a scientist trying to put her down. She never come out and said what was the Chip, wasn't it? Chip was the bloke who helped her, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And he
But
stood
they-
by her side.
Something to him at one point. Called him a fake, didn't they?
Yeah.
They did.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. She never come out at any point and said, well, I did it just to get it off my back. I
No.
think anyone that says it would have to have not a repercussion, but I don't see how it can be credible. And that would be my only issue. And that's what I'm saying with the witch farm. I don't necessarily disbelieve them, but I just find it very odd. If we're talking about what they're selling, it's we've got the amateur. We spoke about the Amateurville horror the other week.
Yeah,
This was the Welsh Amateurville.
yeah, sort of thing. Yeah.
So they got up and fled within
Yes.
28 hours, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah.
So
Something like that.
doesn't matter if it's that bloody scary, money or no money, I would sleep in the back of the car. If it was scaring you that much, I would sleep in the back of the car. But they always went back.
Yeah, but that was their house. I get that.
But
I
if
do
it was
get
that
their
evil,
house.
why go back?
Well, I think
Well-
they had it exercised a couple of times.
They did, yeah, they had it, yeah,
So they
7
probably
times.
At that, it's probably gone. I don't know.
Yeah,
I can't answer you that.
but-
And I don't think you probably ever get to the bottom of it, even if you were there, because he's died. And I think, in all honesty, I think a lot may have been with him.
Yeah, yeah, because he practiced it, didn't he? He lived with someone that was quite famous at the time, I believe.
You know, is that Michelle?
No, he lived, didn't he, as a young age? He lived with someone in London that was a famous sort of along the lines of who was the gentleman that did the vampire story of Highgate.
Oh yeah.
So he stayed with someone that practiced, and it was for famous people as well. Let's just get into the chat, guys, because I know that a lot of people are coming in. I haven't said hello. Hi, Lisa. Evening, David. I've said hello to Flugel. My mouse is going. I'll come to this question in a minute. Mickey's in the chat. Evening there, Mickey. David, I was born in the valleys, and I believe there are some proper weird sightings. Yeah. We go there quite often. We go to Wales quite often. I do believe that we have been within about 40 minutes of Halfanog Farm.
I think we've probably yes.
At some point. I know it's quite near Brecon, but quite where, I don't know. Evening, Cece. A new name in the... Hello, darling. How are we? Nice to see you on the chat again. I haven't seen you for a whole week. Terry is also in the chat as well. So, yeah, that was just another sort of thing that, funny enough, I saw this morning. And that's what got me excited, because I thought, I'll print it out. I can read the report. And I forgot it. Like a douche. But never mind, never mind. I got the rough story of it, but they did buy it. The witch farm, they did buy it, knowing it was a haunted presence.
Get their names, and perhaps we can ask them if we can go and stay there.
I think they would, by the sound of it.
I'd love to.
Loads of new names on here tonight. Hi guys, finally got on. Wendy. So welcome everybody to the show. We've just been talking about some old cases that, some famous cases that we were talking about in the present, because we had a little bit of an update on one. I don't know who David is. But he was born in the valleys. I don't know if David is a secret undercover spy that knows he could start a debate at a blink of an eye. Do you believe in orbs? I'll let Simon start off with his abbreviation of what he believes an orb is.
100% I believe in orbs, David. I don't believe in them all. I believe there can be some that are caused by dust, but some of the things I've seen formed, the strange light anomalies I've seen formed, yes, I definitely believe in orbs. I believe they're the start of a spirit manifestation. I've seen that sort of pretty much in the very, very early days of Most Haunted by a mirror when they would do an experiment there. That was quite some time ago. I've seen things in orbs where it's been photographed, and I know Russell's got a name for that. And before I go on to let Russell have his say, I just wanted to say thank you to Richard, because you really have got Richard, who came into the shop the other day. And I don't know if anybody's heard about it, but this will change your perspective on orbs as well. Have you ever heard of the skull experiments?
No, but he has sent us over.
Oh man, you've got. Before we discuss it, you need to watch it.
Where does it sit? Where does it sit on this show or
This show.
Thursday's show?
This
show.
And
Okay.
part of it goes in the Thursday show. But
Right, okay.
it very much sits. I'll just tell you basically what it is. Set up in the 80s, 90s. Skull was a place in Norfolk, and it was a team of 2 mediums and 2 paranormal investigators. They were called the Bennetts were the mediums, married couple, and the Foys were the paranormal investigators. And they conducted all these experiments in a cellar over numerous years. And what they provide, and what evidence it's provided, every skeptic, every scientist has tried to knock it and can't. You really need to watch it. It's an hour and a half, and it's a brilliant watch. And there's things in there. There's an Italian person that speaks with the dead through radio. Orbs that are produced with no light, sealed off room in the cellar. There's nobody else in it. And it's experiments that I would really, really like to try and do. Really. So please have a watch, because these lights and orbs come in from nowhere. This is in a blacked out room, yeah. And after about an hour or an hour and a half of sitting there, the orbs start to go. So there's no light in the room. There's nothing in the room. Everybody's been searched. Everybody's gone in this room with nothing. And it is absolutely fantastic to watch. I can't thank him enough for sending it to me, to be honest.
Okay.
It really has opened my eyes. And I think it will open yours as well.
Okay. Well, I've got. To be fair, was it I take it was the first video he sent.
Go on the link to the YouTube link. It takes you
Yeah,
straight
but
in.
there's 2. Is it the first? Is it the very first message he sent, or the one that he replied to you at?
Very first one.
Right. Okay. That mate. Yeah. There's one. Yeah. There's 2. But the second one, he sent you also another video.
Okay. But that, mate, is. I think it would probably be right up our street to actually try some of the things that they're trying in this skull experiments. I really do think it would be up our street to do it, because it's all about a table as well. They go in and the table lifts, and you see this table and it's lifting, and there's nobody, and it all starts happening with the energies, and unbelievable. And then these photographs that, double exposure and all that, what you were telling me, yeah? And it was double exposure, could have caused this and could have caused that. Well, this one, mate, they put a video recorder in, they've tied it off, it's in jet black, so it's filming nothing, and all of a sudden, about halfway through, it starts filming something. Now, these are in locked boxes, there's nothing in the room, and it starts filming spirit. Absolutely brilliant. You're going to have to watch it. I don't know if anybody in the chat has actually seen this documentary on YouTube. It's called The Skull Report.
I've just literally just sort of just stuck it in the on Google. There's not much that comes up,
No,
to be fair on it. Nothing really gives you, but there is
watch that YouTube video.
there is apparently a film as well. I'm just clicking into it at the moment.
It's absolutely fantastic. It's very 80ish and 90ish. So you're going back and it's, but yeah, sorry. So in a long way round, yes, I believe in all, David. Yes.
No, but that's it. That's it. That's I'm just seeing if there more on it. There's a book. Apparently, there's a book. The Soul Experiment Group. Very interesting. Very interesting. I don't know.
They've tried to Terry. They have tried to debunk it numerous times, but apparently they can't. And if you look at the Italian, there's an Italian guy that makes contact through radio, even with the valves out and God knows what. And this actually talks to him. It actually talks. You can hear it talking. It is really, it's so much. It is really worth a watch.
Oh, sorry. It's what I'm trying to do. I don't know if I've bugged it up or not. It's trying to get the link for you. And then if I can pop it in. Have I lost you?
No.
You're all still there. But I've lost you. So don't panic for a minute. I'll get us back. Don't do this to me at the moment, please. Yeah, I can't see myself though, so I don't know what I'm doing. Now I've got to exit full screen. Yeah, mate, just a little panic. I don't know if this is going to work, but right. So for everybody in the chat, that is the link for the Soul Experiment. Okay, so anyone that wants to watch that, I have popped it in the chat for you.
It was taken to America as well.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is based on, the American side of things.
No, starts off very much in Norfolk in their cellar.
Yeah, but when you Google it,
oh yeah, it's probably Hollywooded. Yeah, it probably is.
Yeah, there's going to be stuff, but yeah, it sounds. This is there's been a book. There's been a book written about. This is a very, very disturbing book. That it said in a positive tone, mind you, there is no Stephen King here. The book features a set of people who decide to see themselves just how far they can go when they apply scientific design methods to trying to reach the spirit world.
It's very, it is very good. If you can, Russ, when you get an hour, I think it's about an hour and 20 minutes, but mate, it's well worth it.
No, I will see if I can even get it watch it after the show. I'll even see if I can start watching it after the show.
But anyway, my take on Orbs, yes, I do believe in them. Not all of them, but yes, I do believe it's the spirit trying to manifestate itself to us.
So there's Simon's abbreviated answer, but good answer, because it's obviously led us down to something that we that clicked our mind. Perhaps we'll have a talk on the skull experiments next week if we can sort of get a link in to watch it. Do I believe in orbs? It's tedious. It's very, very a tedious subject. I will very much sit on the fence, but just on the side of no. I think some are. Anything that is totally cylindrical, to me, is out. I think I would only take evidence on an SLR camera, because I've tried so many times to get an orb on an SLR camera, or and you can't. Most of the orbs that we see nowadays are all done by our mobile phones, and I don't see what was in the mobile phone that is different to an SLR camera. So I'd have to have the full breakdown of what it is. And if you was to say to me, I've caught a face in it, then yeah, don't approach me at all. Because then you've already knocked my mind straight away, because it's very much pareidolia. Our brain is trained to see faces amongst patterns. Now that's not, that's just how our brain works. You show a pattern, the brain will automatically put a face there.
Do you believe in them, David?
So, yeah, that's a good question. But my mouse is really bad today. I can't get it to go anywhere. So that's just my take on it. It'd have to be, you'd have to tell me the ins and outs of a maggot, and then we would see just how far I could let my brain take it. The things I don't look for is completely round. They'd have to be disshaped. I do like the ones that are full, so you can't see through them. I like the ones that you can't see through. And I like the ones that are caught not on your mobile phone, because it seems to be the only piece of kit that wants to take orbs. And I'd like to know what's different between what's in a mobile phone camera and an SLR camera. Now we've tried an experiment, like when we did Harwich years and years ago. I remember Ryan having a digital camera, and I remember Joe having his mobile phone. Now Joe's mobile phone caught orbs all night long, but it's just as many photos on a digital camera caught sweet sod all. I don't see how that works. That to me says there has to be. The evidence sits with me is that what's different? Surely it's a lens with a shutter speed. I just, I don't know. I don't know. And that's the only place I sit from it. It has to be something that is totally, totally different from what, if you typed in orb on Google, every single one of them would have, look at this face, and it would be perfectly cylindrical.
But would you not say that an orb is a way of spirit trying to manifestate itself? Would you not say that is? Because how do we catch things like then on the North Wheel train? So all that is an orb.
Is it?
A big orb. Well, yeah, surely.
But we never had any orbs prior to that. I know where you're going. I know. So what you're saying, that 1,000 million orbs all circulate into one area to make one big orb.
Yeah,
I can see the logic in that, and it would be nice to feel that energy sucking in to that point. I get that, but then in my eyes, if we're seeing a full apparition like we saw at North Weald, that I would pretty much be convinced that we would all have saw orbs flying from every single direction, as in some magical, mystical event happening.
I don't know.
And
because I really don't know. I'd like, I would like to try some experiments that they do now. Once you've seen it, and I'm sure we're going to try some, probably in our investigations. Actually, I think we will.
As soon as I've watched it, if we can get something in place, we will do. You know what I'm like trying to.
I think it will, as I was watching, I thought, as I was watching this, I was thinking, now that would show Russ. Now that would show Russ. Yeah, now that would show Russ. So,
but the thing is, it'd have to be done with my own eyes.
Yeah, it will be.
And that's what I'm. We'd have
Yeah,
to.
but
It'd have to be so controlled.
Yeah,
And-
but these were.
Yeah,
These
that's what I'm
were
saying.
so controlled.
And I'd love to be able to replicate
Replicate it.
replicate what they were doing, but it seems
You can. There's nothing. They were doing nothing really out of the ordinary. Some of it was nothing out of the ordinary. They would sit there for an hour and a half, and then they would start to see lights because they were asking spirit to come forward.
yeah, but that would be, how many times do we see the flashes of light in the corner of our eyes and things like that? That's just we're quite lucky because we can, okay, when we do seances at events, we do get a good hour for that seance to sort of come to light. Pardon the pun. So you do get that time where it could be flat at the beginning. Do you remember the rain stick? Was you ever at the seance with the rain stick?
Yes, I was.
To this day, it picked up in the middle of the table, turned around and laid back down again.
Yeah.
So-
And that's the sort of things that would happen in these experiments they're doing.
It sounds like a really interesting watch.
Yeah. Yeah.
It does sound like a really, really interesting watch. So guys, if you've got any more questions, please. I've got a couple. I'm not, Christian, I've got to be careful if I'm reading from you because you're rude. Craig, evening, Craig. Great to see you last Saturday. The reading meant a great deal to me and my dad. Has opened my eyes and changed me in many ways. Craig, just keep going the way you are. I'm glad I could help both you and your dad. I say I'm not, I'm just the messenger. So I just give the message from the spirit world to you. How you take that and run with it, that's your choice. It's free will. But I'm glad, it meant something to you. That's all we can do as spiritual messengers, so to speak. So hopefully again see you soon, Craig. Let's have a look. I haven't seen it, but if it's the Crystal Skulls, I thought they was debunked. Crystal Skulls is obviously for like a Thursday night show, but no, the Crystal Skulls have not been debunked, so to speak. I think they've been hushed and poo-pooed because of what they are. But I think the Crystal Skulls, how we see the Crystal Skulls, I think if you look at the shape of what these Crystal Skulls are and link it to the film Alien, I think you're very much in the territory of the Crystal Skulls are extraterrestrial rather than anything like that. But if you watch the film, I think it's Alien, isn't it? Predator is the one that makes the funny noise and it walks. Alien's got the elongated head, isn't it?
Comes out the stomach.
Yeah, I think it's got the elongated head. Or Independence Day, one of the two. I can't remember, to be fair.
But in that skull experiment, when they actually capture some stuff on the filming, you'll see it if you watch it. But at one point, it does look like an alien. You need to watch that part.
Yeah, cool.
It does look like an alien, so it will cover part of Thursday as well. I would think. That is all what it's about. I think.
Yeah.
And it's kept very. Funny enough, it's been kept very quiet because I've looked for more on it, and you don't get a lot on it.
But
Richard
we all
was
like.
saying.
But the thing is, if it all starts making sense and can be proven, what was it proving rather than what?
Life after death. That's what they were proving.
Yeah.
That's what they were trying to prove.
And what did they prove that has caused it to be hush hush? That is what the question I would be answering.
Yeah.
Because we know what our governments are like. Thursday night show material, I know, but we know what the governments are like. If we are close to a bit of information, they will shut you down.
Well, this has been out there since the 80s, 90s. We're now in 2023, and it's the first time I've ever heard of it.
But the book was published in 1999. Just looking at my screen there, but so it was definitely back quite a while ago. But very interesting. It looks like I want to watch it.
Yeah, good.
I have some on my digital camera, but what are we talking of a digital camera, Maz? I'm not talking about like the little compact ones. I'm talking about the one where you can, the SLR one where you can open and close the big. What would you call it? I call it a SLR camera, slow lens reflect, whatever it's called. But I know what you're saying because I don't know where that little digital one is I've got laying around here somewhere. But this is a big SLR camera. Christian has put, I'm going to read it out, but it could be rude, guys, so do apologise. Mobile phones have a sensor next to their camera which sends out infrared. The orbs would be a reflection of the infrared showing through a digital camera. So the camera is the same, but the phones have an extra output which causes the noise on the camera.
Okay, interesting.
That would make perfect sense why dust refracts back off the infrared. That would make more. That's how I can. That's how. That makes a little bit sense to me.
We've all seen, I have seen orbs at dust, but I've seen some bloody strange orbs when you're walking through. When I was walking through Thorndon Park, I think it was with Joe and I was with Sandra at the time, and the orb by the leg, what we could see by our legs was unlike anything I've seen. They were in the dark. There's no lights over Thorndon Park. So there was no reflection of what it could have come off it. This was a massive piece of light. And caught on camera. So I'm not talking little round orbs.
The mobile phone has a sensor next to the camera. I'm now sort of. I'm just going to read the comments because these are the orb questions. We have a little security cam in our hallway, and I do see them on there, and they're always different times and seem to go in and out of the big mirror we just have underway. The cameras are situated. See, my question now to Wendy would be: now just reading Christian's comment, has that security light got infrared on it? Because I don't think SLR cameras are infrared. If we're saying they're on mobile phones, security cameras also have, hence being a security camera. So it has to be something to do with the infrared, in my eyes. I think that's because I believe there is no infrared on a SLR.
The point that hits me there on that statement from Wendy is they come and go out in the big mirror. Seem to go in and out of the big mirror. Yeah, so that's.
Let me just do with infrared. Infrared. See, I think that would be the link. That's the link.
That is the link, but Spirit will try and show itself in any way it can manipulate things, won't it? If it can manipulate something, Spirit will.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. But then that's where my head goes. That is where my...
I know where I do know where your head goes. And to a degree, so do I. But I have seen orbs. And especially that part there, going in and out of a big mirror. Because that's where I've seen orbs go as well. I've seen that with a naked eye, not through a mobile phone. I've seen that with my naked eye. So, what I would say, Wendy, try and have a look go and look at it with your own eyesight.
Evening, Edward. I haven't heard Edward's name mentioned on the show before, so if you have been listening, I've never called your name out. I do apologise, but welcome to the show. Craig, I'll come back to your question in a minute, okay? Because it's just off kilter of subject at the moment, but we'll go back to kilter of subject. Security cameras always have a sensor, hence being a security camera.
Yeah.
I think it may do, as you can see in the dark. Keep an eye on
Ah.
dog. So it is so that would be infrared. Sorry guys, I just joined, so apologies if this has become a bit. Can you see orbs with your bare eyes?
Yes.
Best way to see them.
Yes.
Best way to see them.
Go to Bawley Church. You can see them quite clearly there most of the time, but be quiet if you do go to Bawley Church and just look.
Yeah, very much so. And they're the best ones. Don't even try and take a picture of it. Use your memory. Use your memory.
Yeah.
Use your memory, because you can't. If you're seeing it with your bare eyes, it's one in, I would say, one in a million.
Yeah.
You know, you sometimes you see it if you're taking a photo, you see it. If you want to, you can see it in the flash. You call it and it's there. So that part of me says dust. But yeah, just see if you can see it with your bare eyes. I think that's the best way to do it.
I think when we were in the bunker that's probably one of the most recent ones I've had, where probably the majority of the group saw the flash of light go across the floor. It actually went across the floor in front of all of us. So that was really a good orb, and that wasn't caught on camera. That was seen with our eyes. To be honest, all of us saw it as well. So, or a few of us, not all of us, but a few of us.
That was good. Christian DSLD, I can't even say it. DSLR cameras, they don't have additional sensors, as their only purpose is to take a photo, where phones and security has a dual purpose.
Yeah.
I get it now, and I should have made that. That was quite an obvious thing. It should have. The infrared is the one that is causing it. I'm not the only one that has seen this. That's
I'm not
good.
doubting you've seen it,
No.
Wendy. I'm not doubting you've seen it. I think if you definitely could happen.
Yeah, no problem, Edward. No problem. You say ask questions. That's all we want, guys. It's nice for Christian to be putting a nice comment on there and actually getting involved in the chat. Team Skeptic. See? No, but that's what I think. Sometimes I think we have to have that. I do think we have to have that. I think that is what plays a massive part within the paranormal field. I think, there has to be someone there that can sit there and just give you an alternative, just gives you an alternative reason, because if both of you can't come up with the alternative reason, then there's a good chance that you've hit the good paranormal sense, in my eyes. I'll save the rude ones after the live. Sire said he will pop over. Right, so let's go back to, we've got some what was that one? I do believe I've seen my own eyes.
Definitely.
But always wonders it is me.
No.
Yeah, it can be many things. It can be many things. Just go with your gut. Go with your gut.
If you're brave enough, sit there and look in the mirror and see if you can see them going in and out in the dark. That's what I would do. If you're brave enough, because that's what I would do. And if I saw them, I'd probably run a mile. But no, I wouldn't.
Oh, what is wrong with this mouse tonight? It just won't let me right. Craig, Flugel, I've seen your question, but we're going order. Craig has asked, if I want to learn how to get where you guys are, I think believing is the hardest bit. But how do you advance? Is that right?
Yeah. To get to where we are. Anybody can get to where we are, Craig. That's the one thing that I will always say. Anybody can do what we do. Believing. How do you advance? You learn to meditate. You sit in a circle. Open your mind to it if you can, and go, if you can, go out of a team. Go out of a paranormal team. Go out of mediums. Associate with people. There will be circles wherever you are. Don't know if you know any other ways, Russ. This probably is.
I just think you have to accept that your logic mind is a part of your spiritual brain. And when I say that, is that 9 times out of 10, every single one of us is claircognizance. Okay, I believe it's claircognizance. Let me check that because I'll go wrong on this one. I think claircognizance. Yes, claircognizance. Got it right. Claircognizance is just a knowing. It is just a knowing. You know, you hear of clairvoyance, they see; clairaudience, they hear; clairsentient, feel; clairalliance, smell; clairgustance, taste. It's a different clair, so there's a clair for every form of what you can put in. Now, most mediums will combine a bit of everything to that, but the one that we've all got is a claircognizance. You just know. Somehow you know. And it's what you have to do is be able to separate that knowing from not allowing your logic brain to kick in. Because as soon as your logic brain kicks in, you will question yourself. So when I give my readings and when I give my spiritual message and through my cards and my readings, I am just letting what is in my brain come out. And that's as simple as it gets.
Very much the same with healing. You're just turning your energy on to accept energy flows through you into that person.
So that is all I would be sort of saying along that sort of matter, to make sure that you just accept it. Don't question it.
Yeah.
But do it safely, protected, cloak of protection. Ground yourself. You could go into a whole, sort of. I know we did a session of it a few weeks ago, so it'll be on our YouTube back somewhere where we did talk about it, of how to do it. So that's how I would. Am I getting anything? At the moment, no, Craig. We're not at the moment. But we might be in later times, all right? So just keep an eye out, okay? Just quickly back on the orb. Craig, what does an orb represent? Are they trying to communicate or just showing you who they are?
Depends if you're asking them to come forward. As a team, if we sit there and ask them to come forward and start seeing orbs, that could be a way of them trying to manifest themselves. Sometimes, I suppose they could just be showing you that you're there. If you're capturing them as you're just walking by, then I would say they're there, and they could already be there. And then it comes down to different types of spirit, but that's a whole different story, I think.
Yeah. I do believe letting go and just listening to your gut. Don't try to rationalize it.
So true.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is. The rationalise it. And just let me one little. Same as incontinence, Wendy. Okay, so there's always one in the chat, isn't there? God bless him. God bless him. Now I can't get that off the screen. Now my mouse has frozen and I can't go up because I want to get to Flugel's question. Where's Flugel gone? There he is. Right, Russ and Si, what would be your ultimate personal experience?
Paranormal
what
experience.
Would you like to see, feel, capture on camera, etc.?
Good question.
It's a hard question.
Very hard question. I think there's two ways. What would be your ultimate paranormal experience? Where would I like to go the most? Well, mine's always been Jeffrey Castle, Bran Castle. Lots of places like that. What would you like to see, feel, capture on camera? Capture on camera, I think we've had a couple of very good ones, to be quite honest. And for Spirit to do that, that's pretty good. The North Weald one would be the one that I would say. I think everybody could see. What would you like to see? I think I like to see. Feel what I get actually. What I get now. I don't think I could ask Spirit for much more than what I see now, what I feel now, what I hear now, what I get now. I think Spirit is pretty good in what it gives me now. I don't know if that answers your question, but
Okay, that's Simon's answered that question. Well, I've got, when you use paranormal, okay, you've opened it up to a hell of a lot of different ways, place, but just we'll keep it on topic. I will just dive off topic for once, but so what experience, your ultimate paranormal experience? I have two. Okay, I've written down two. So I've always wanted to go to Transylvania. I always want to go to Transylvania. Bran Castle, where the home of Vlad the Impaler lived. So, that would be my ultimate experience. What would I like to see, feel? Well, if I'm going to Transylvania, I want him to, bite me or drink my blood, whatever you want. What would I like to capture on camera? Of course, I'd love him to come up, walk down the corridor, and catch it on camera. So that would be but just like Simon, not to say that I've experienced everything within the paranormal field, because that's not what I'm saying. But like Simon, it happens. I shouldn't say nothing shocks me. Nothing shocks me. Things make me jump.
yeah,
But when I've finished, end up cacking myself with my incontinence, I've then I've rationalised the thought, and then I'm back to the room. But is what I do. I do like the fear of being frightened. I like my heart to pump. I like to be in a situation. If I feel frightened, if I feel intimidated within the paranormal field, that's not being surrounded by a group of hooligans that are going to beat me up frightened. I'm talking about put me in a place that is haunted and I can feel my heartbeat. I want to feel intimidation. That gets me going. That gets my experiences, and I know that I'm onto a good one. But if I'm talking about, if you said paranormal, because the paranormal does open up a hell of a big ream of field, and I'll just go off kilter because I am a believer in extraterrestrials, but what I'm not a believer in is abduction. Now there is a paranormal experience that I want. Okay, that is what I would want, because I want to be proved that's right, because I don't think it is. That is a thing that I massively question with abductees. I'm not a strong believer in it.
you just want that probing.
I'm waiting for Christian's comment, to be fair. It's coming there. It's like you can feel his eyes have lit up with what is coming. But I'm hoping he's left, because we've had a couple of dropouts then. So, right, thanks both. Have you ever experienced any cuts, burns, whelps? What's welts? Whelps? What's whelps? Yeah. From being yes. We've witnessed it quite a few times. We've experienced it a few times. Yeah. We've been over to Cash's Well, where we all come back with ankle marks.
Yeah, we did.
For no apparent reason. We've had major scratches from people at Cash's Well. Do you remember in the first cottage that we ever stayed in Wales? Yeah. My chest was just bleeding.
Yeah.
3 marks, and it actually brought blood. We've had burns. I don't know what whelps is. I don't know. Hoping I left. I'm biting my tongue here. But yeah, no. I've experienced it quite often. I probably will say to you that after every event that I'll have some form of mark or pain where, you know, it's happened. You know, we go to, I don't know if the lady is still in the chat, but I can't get my mouse to go up and down again, and I don't know why. But I do. But if Steph is still in the chat,
Yes.
Steph joined us at Oxford Castle many years ago, and she was strangled and had a great big red mark around her neck. We was at Oxford Castle where the my apologies. I try not to leave any marks right now. I'm off. Take care, Christian, and hopefully see you over the weekend at some point.
Definitely will.
But yeah, I'm still here. Very much remember that.
The Hangman, yes.
Yeah, remember that, and Steph had red mark. We had to get her out of the situation because she couldn't breathe. So yeah, it does happen. And without sounding wrong, it happens quite commonly. It seems to be a bit of paranormal activity to see. It seems to be easier for them to hurt. So yeah. It does happen, Flugel.
Phil, if you look on the website, I think you can actually. I think there's a photo of the girl that got scratched on the website somewhere.
You're going back a long time, so it's a long time. You'd have to search back on it, but yeah, it's there.
It's the 3 claw marks down this girl's back. It was a cash as well.
Yeah. So Flugel says quality. Let's hope to see some action on the ship next week. Hopefully it's not too bad. I don't want to be pushed overboard, to be fair, or walking the plank. Let's go down the. I'm still here. I'll come to your question in a minute, Heidi. Craig has asked, have you ever generally scared where you can't control it? A couple of places. There's a place in Kent that I generally just won't go back to. And I just think that's because of what the evil has gone on in that village. I still think it's practiced there.
Yeah, in practice there, it's probably not so of the dead. It's probably the living in that place.
Yeah, but I think that there's some form of links to like devil worship or something like that.
Yes,
there's something. Yeah. So that frightens me. And would I go back? I say I won't go back. If I was pushed, I would go back. But I wouldn't make plans. If someone said to me, oh, tomorrow night, we're going to head over to such and such a place. Yeah, it probably wouldn't happen. No, it's not Pluckley. To be fair, Pluckley was a bit of a dead squid for us, but it was okay, but
We've
it
only
wasn't the
done
best.
it once. We were back in the very, very early days, but I don't know if Pluckley's overrated, to be quite honest. I think there's better woods, to be honest, to investigate out there.
One of the places that I do apologize. I'm going to have a massive yawn live on radio. I do apologise to everybody who just witnessed that yawn. I just couldn't stop it. That's what I couldn't control. Where you couldn't control it, I would generally say the one place that I didn't feel in control was at the secret nuclear bunker. We're probably going back about 6 or 7 years ago.
Yeah.
When we got chased from the bottom to the middle and we got pinned in that room.
Yes.
That is probably the worst situation that I did feel I was out of control in. Things have happened.
Sometimes a lot of things happen in a short space of time, and it can be manic. where we can't control it. We couldn't control Pauline at Shepton. We couldn't
Yeah.
have controlled that. There's
No.
no controlling it. We couldn't control it the first time round at Shepton when people kept going down.
Nope. That was definitely a.
Yes, there are places you can't control it, where I think spirit are very, very strong in certain places and environments. That's an all-male prison. That's all certain category A prisoners in there. So I think you got what you asked for in there. I think if you asked for it, you would have got it.
Yeah.
Simple as.
And that is yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, I agree with that one. The more energy you have in certain areas. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm going again. This is unbelievable. I do apologise. I do. I spend one day in Legoland and I don't know if I'm on my arse or my head. I'd love to go back to Shepton. Count me in if you go back.
We definitely go back.
I remember not being able to control the rocking last year at Cash's Well.
Yeah.
You know, so there's a hell of a lot that goes on. There is a real hell of a lot that goes on. So yeah, when it goes into that, but that's a very sort of vast array of, you know, what can scared. I haven't been scared for a long time.
Scared? No, I can't say. There's a lot scares me now. Not. Yeah, no. It makes me jump. Things make me jump. No, so
Yeah.
not really scared. However, I'm a bit apprehensive for where we're going next week. To be honest, I am apprehensive because
I can't wait.
Yeah, I know, but it's the reports in the paper recently that I've been reading, not anything that I've read because I don't do research. It's things that people were showing me. You're going on this boat, aren't you? Yeah. You seen these reports?
No. You know what I'm like?
Yes, I know.
Until it happens to me, they can report all they want. You know, that's how I play the game. I can't stop bloody yawning.
We'll find out next Saturday. That'd be good.
We will, as we are going to HMS Warrior at Portsmouth, and I'm gonna wind them right up, and it's a boat. I'm coming down the list. That's why I'm going to wind them up. I really want to wind them up. Let's going down. I've got questions coming in. I know I have. I'm just moving down. Gary, I can see yours. And I'll come to you in a minute, but we're going to Heidi's first. Hi guys, when you stay at places and have a sleepover, do you sometimes wake up with the marks on your body?
I'll go for that one first, Heidi, if you like. When I go anywhere with Russell and the team, whenever I go into a place, I make sure when I go into this place that I make a boundary for spirit or whatever's in that place, and they don't come through my doorway. So they let me sleep, in other words. That's not to say I don't get woken up and scratched, because it does happen, but 9 times out of 10 now, no, it doesn't.
But okay, I question this one on you because you answered you answered it there, now let me throw this one to you. Okay, when you put your safe boundary, did you do that at Drakelow Tunnels?
Yes.
So why was it active in your place and not in ours? And we had, well, to be fair, we probably had 3 sleepers that.
Yeah, you had sleepers. I had non-sleepers. So I think that was probably part of it, but it wasn't at Drakelow. We weren't. It wasn't nasty spirit. It was just spirit trying to make contact. That's all it was. It wasn't a spirit. When I say I protect the doorways, that's against anything that's going to come through me, come through and try and harm me. It's not to say spirit won't wake me up like the Wales cottage when that we all got woken up there. We all got woken up there. So, but if it's nice spirit, I work with it. If it wants to wake me up and speak, then yeah, go for it. It's not gonna. I'm not saying that, but if it's gonna hurt me and scratch me, then do I really want to know it? No. So, bugger off.
Have I ever woke up? Yeah, I say when. For me, yes, that was when I stayed at that place in Wales. I woke up every morning with a sort of mark, scratch,
But you were
whatever
sort
you want.
of encouraging it in, weren't you?
Well-
it is typical us. Come and have and go if you think.
No,
they're
no. That was different. The first one was different. Obviously, I won't put up a protection because obviously I want to know what's in the house. But that was the place where I say Tina is watching. There was that witch's bottle right underneath my bedroom that was placed by the door. So yes and no. Yes and no. I want the best experience possible.
Yeah,
That's how I see it. So I go full.
Yes, you can have the best experience possible, but you don't have to have it in the bedroom, do you?
Yeah, but then
You
what's
can
the
have
point?
it in the rest of the house.
Yeah, but then that's not fun, is it?
No, I suppose not.
That's no fun. I'm going to an haunted place. Let's go. That's it. Yeah, that the bloody dough in Wales. I remember that. Yeah, I must admit that scared the living. That lifted the bed up. That definitely lifted the bed up in the air.
Gwyneth.
I think she sits. But this is Gwen. Is this Gwyneth or not? Is this not Gwyneth?
No, that's the one that survived. No, it's Gwyneth. That'd be Gwyneth.
There's
Hello,
Gwyneth.
Gwen. How you doing?
For everybody on Pulse Talk Radio, I'm holding the Gwyneth up to the camera. So sorry if you can't see it, but
And
that
wasn't
is
actually. I
Gwyneth.
didn't go and get that one. That was somebody found that in an antique shop in Wales.
And who went back and bought it?
I did.
Well then,
Sandra did. Sandra did because she bartered them down. So hold on, no, don't actually. Not guilty.
let's have a look. Got to go back to fascinates me. You can't control it yet, still do it. Is it just a feel of I know I will be safe and trust my skills? Absolutely.
Yeah, trust my
Absolutely. Absolutely. Trust in your spirit guides and everything like that. So that would be brilliant. Brilliant. I'm trying to do 6 different things at once. Our group wants to do Shepton 2 if you're looking for numbers. Also a pub in and a hospital just for ideas.
Yeah, okay, mate. Okay.
Shepton won't be.
Don't say it won't be next year because it could be. You never know.
It could, but no. I think we're pretty much stacked for next year. We've got 3
Yeah,
away places next year, so I wouldn't be able to get Shepton into it next year, but it could be the following year quite early. Pubs are so hard to do, so because they don't shut. So we have to do them after hours, and you don't get much time. I do believe that the only sort of hospital that was what was it called? Oh,
It's not Newsham, not.
Newsham, yeah, but I don't think they're doing it at the moment. I don't think they doing it at the moment. So, but Kim's on that one anyway. Have I done that? I've done that question. How do you know the difference between a nice spirit and a nasty spirit?
You just take your chance. No, probably in the way they approach. You'll probably know if, like you would a human and like in human, you know if they were nice or not, nice or nasty. To be honest, and that's the way you sort of differentiate between the two in spirit world. You might go in and the spirit will tell you to piss off, but then they're usually the ones that end up talking to you more. I find.
To be fair, there's a real sort of, isn't there? That's a bit of a a bit of an odd question, not an odd question because Craig's asking a sensible one, but for us, what's the difference between a nice spirit and a nasty spirit? There's a massive split between that question because you could put a nasty spirit into a nice spirit, potentially.
Yeah.
How I split my energies is I keep it quite simple. So I have a nice spirit that anything has touched this earth plane. But I have a bad spirit that anything that hasn't hit this earth plane. So we're talking about what a nasty spirit is, a demonic side of things, and a nice spirit has always touched it. I keep it very simple. Sorry, Gary, I've missed your question. So let me go back to that question. My mouse is really not working. Where was Gary's question? I missed it. Sorry, Gary. Let me go back. There it was. Have you lot ever been to Pluckley? Yes, we have been to Pluckley, Gary. We've only ever been there once. It was okay-ish. We potentially heard the scream.
Yeah, we did. But I think the most haunted part was the pub. Actually, we stayed in the pub and had a meal, didn't we? And I think that was quite haunted.
But it's not every time you go to these places to get it. I had a great result at Pluckley years ago and still remember it to this day. I think a lot of people do. It's just a weird place. It has a weird feeling. Let me go down. Natalie has put Gwen. How can you have that doll next to you with that horrid eyes? Do you know what? This eye has totally gone.
Put Gwen up again. She's probably.
If you've said it,
she hasn't seen it for ages.
Have you said it? She's made my eye go completely.
Oh, she's lovely. Look,
horrid. I don't know if it's gone red and everything. I
Gwen,
don't know. So
you need to do her hair a bit. That hair needs doing on that side.
Yeah. Done. Hair done. Gwen's been kicked out. There's an empty closed pub in Chelmsford that is meant to be haunted. Not sure if you'd get in it though.
Did I have any luck with Shire Hall? I think I probably passed it on to Kim and Sandra. I'll pass it on again. Shire Hall in Chelmsford. I know we spoke about it, Wendy. Let me and I'm sure I would have put it to them. Sandra and Kim, if you're listening in the chat, can you have a look at Shire Hall in Chelmsford, see if they rent out? We might have already had a go at it. It rings a bell.
Flugel has sent you a message. Si, what that one in the medical room of the bunker that had you work out particular nasty, or just a run of the mill?
That's something that was attached to Jay more than anything. I think it was a nasty spirit within Jay who wanted to. Well, he was coming at me, as you saw in there, Phil. But that was attached more to Jay and perhaps what he'd done in some places. But yeah, no. Sometimes you do come across them like that. And that wasn't the first one in that bunker on that particular evening. We were being followed about by that type of spirit, Phil, from our first group as well.
And as I say, there's the evidence.
Yeah, that's where it is now.
What was it? St Mary's Ruins, big results there. Never heard of it.
Ruins, Gary? Where about?
Burn. Yep, I couldn't agree more. She's just got an headache now. So
Sandra, told you about you don't diss Gwen.
If I could show you Gwen's face, it's hilarious because it looks like she's got the raving as well. I don't know if I could take a photo and then read out the comment there while I'm doing that.
How about the disused tube stations and tunnels? Do you know what, Phil? I would so love to get down there, but it's so hard and it is so costly. I think we had somebody that did it for about a couple of hours. And how much was it, Russ? It was thousands. It
Yeah.
was thousands. If you know anybody who's in the underground who can get us down there, or anybody does in the chat, oh God, yeah, we'd love to.
No, I can't get the photo because I can't get it to stand up. Yeah, no, it is a thing that we'd love to do. The pub in Chelmsford is King's Arms on Brunford Road. If you ever want to look at it at that avenues.
Sandra, you have a look at see if we can get in there. Perhaps if it's
Wendy said that would be amazing if we could get in there. Is the doll okay?
yeah, she's lovely.
Yeah, she's all right.
Wendy, that doll is lovely. But she's good with me. Actually, I do need to get her back. I don't know
Yeah.
why you've got her. I don't know why you've got her.
Don't know.
She'll get you.
She's hurt my eye already, and I didn't even do anything to her.
On the head, because what's
Well,
she gonna do?
because that was before I'd even picked her up. I picked her up, showed her to the screen, and she hurt my eye. So she can get a headache now.
It's I don't know. Obviously not.
I end up with all of them. I've got a whole load in there where he buys them, leaves them in the car.
I don't know why he's got Gwen. Gwen is mine. Yeah, you're right. She should be here.
I've got the other one as well that you got wrapped up
but
in a thing.
That one is evil. That survived the bloody house fire. The only
I've got-
thing that survived the house fire was that doll untouched. Yeah.
That don't you don't you
No,
bring it
like,
next
if you
week.
want- If you want an altered doll, that's the one you should have.
What have you got it for? Simon's. Wow, yes, that sounds crazy. Good to go underground would be good. Poor thing. Don't say poor thing.
Yeah, Wendy, I agree.
Well,
See, Maz
Yeah.
telling you.
but why would she hurt me first and I can't hurt her back?
She didn't.
Simple as. She did. I picked her up, put her in front of the screen.
Yeah,
As I
but
put
she
her
didn't
back,
wanna-
my eye's beginning to hurt, so she's hurt my eye.
You didn't want to be put in front of the screen.
Well, tough shit, isn't it?
You want me to bring her, Phil? I'll bring her. Oh, you shouldn't have done that, Phil.
Phil, she's all yours.
Coming next week, Phil.
Free to a happy home. Free to a happy
No, she's
home.
coming up. She should be here, actually. I don't know why she's not sitting here.
No, nor do I. She's only been here for like a year.
No, but why did she get there? I don't know why.
I haven't got a clue.
No, nor have I, actually.
You held her by the hair.
Yeah,
but that
thank
wasn't. I didn't do it the first time. I picked her up normally the first time around. Then as I put her back, my eye's gone all red and I can't open the bloody thing. It feels like I've got hay fever in one eye.
Great. Oh, great. Great. He'll bring you back tomorrow. You can come home with me.
No, you know what happened the last time that you brought her to the shop? We didn't get a customer all bloody day until you went home. So no, she ain't going nowhere near it. Bleep off. That amount you've cracked her head in the table, you give her a migraine. Maz, what's the matter with you? You don't remember? Don't you remember her from Wales? To be fair, she did cause a lot of crap in Wales, no matter what.
It wasn't the doll.
It bloody well was, because we was all right up until the doll come in the house. So it definitely brought something in. But I've got more of her bloody hair around me than I have my own bloody hair. She's molting. She's turning into the devil. But no, things like that, yeah, I don't like. But to be fair, I prefer the other one that survived the house fire. That's very calm and collective. That's just evil. Yeah, you turn your back and look to the wall. You deserve it. Now write 100 lines as well. But no, there's not.
I'll get you back tomorrow, Gwen.
Yeah, she can stay in the. I ain't bringing her in the car. You need to pick her up
All right, I'll pick her up.
because I'm not driving with her in the car.
I'll pick her up.
But she's probably one of them dolls that frigging make me crash or something like that. And now I've banged her head 6 times. No, that doll didn't. That doll didn't survive the house fire.
Where's the one that did survive the house?
Well, if you can keep the chat going for a minute, I'll go and get her.
yeah, this one I found I can't even remember where I found this one, but I got her for silly money, really silly money. 'Cause I think the bloke just wanted to get rid of her. And the history is this doll was the only thing that come out of a house fire. I don't know if anybody died. I don't think anybody died in this house fire. No, they didn't. But if you look at her, and this house was burnt to the ground, and surviving from this house when she comes in, it's just done. Now this one gives me the creeps. This one I don't like. Gwen I like. Gwen's fine. I'm quite happy with Gwen. I will bring her to the boat next week, so we'll be up for it then. So no, I don't want to start collecting other things. I don't want stamps. Sandra doesn't have the same effect.
Right. Here she is, all wrapped up.
Now this one, nah.
There she is.
Look at her. Now that one I don't like. Anybody want to buy a haunted doll?
This one I don't mind. She's
No, I
wrapped,
don't
wrapped
like
in a
it.
cloth. That one's wrapped in a cloth. She's been here for a long time now. She stays wrapped in a little whatever.
Make sure you keep her in that cloth.
Yeah, she stays in that cloth quite
See,
happily in the
Gwen's got
cupboard.
character. Gwen has got a character all of her own.
Yeah. Evil character. Hurts people.
Yeah, she
She's
is immaculate. Yeah, you're right. That
Where did she come from?
bloke just wanted to get rid of it.
She has got a few burn marks on her face, poor little cow, look.
Oh yeah, see. Yeah.
She's smiling though. Not like the other thing. It's got a face like yeah, but she's smiling. She's been in a house fire. Come out the other side. The other one's got a face like a slapped arse.
Got character. She has got character. And I swear, when we were doing lives with her, her face was changing, and me and Jake could see it, and I'm sure Maz saw it at one point as well. I'm sure Maz saw the face, and Sandra saw it go from a smile to a frown.
Sandra, you need to start collecting something other than
Okay.
dolls. Try collecting stamps or something like
Clowns, Sandra, clowns. That's what I'll start collecting, clowns.
that. Coming from a full-on house fire, she looks good. What was Flugel's answer? Question, sorry. Have you ever experienced a reoccurring spirit from different places?
I think they can. Can you put this one without? I think they can follow you from different places if you take something with you. If that makes sense.
Jay.
Yeah. It's Jay. I think if you pick up their objects, I think then they can attach and follow you. Yes.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of anywhere that we've had a reoccurring spirit. The only one that I can sort of remember is the one that built Coal House, Tilbury, and the one across the
Golden.
Captain Gordon.
Captain Golden, yeah.
Matthew Hopkins. He's been in a different place. He's been in a couple of different places. But they've got a tie to the place. That makes sense. They're not necessarily. They've got a little bit of a tie to the place. That's the only thing. Have I?
Abercrombie. He's followed us about.
Abercrombie was from
Epping Church.
Epping. Where did we see him again?
Oh, no, you've got me. But he's followed us.
Yeah, that energy's followed us. Yeah, it's one of them. It's an odd one. It's an odd one, Phil. Yes, I do think it can happen. Has it happened? Yes, but it's on what I would say. I think there has to be a tie to the place a little bit. We know Matthew Hopkins went all over the place.
Yeah, he did.
Captain Gordon,
Bill.
Richie Rich.
Richie
He's been in a.
Rich, he's followed us, yes.
Yeah. What's the nasty one in Hockley Woods?
Tom Barker.
Barker.
Which Barker? Yeah, Warlock Barker, whatever.
No, he's been around. Then you have the other gentleman, the Cunny Morell.
But he's with me a lot.
Yeah.
Cunny Morell was with me.
But that's what was, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. So there were, you know, yeah, I do believe it could happen. Definitely.
Yeah.
Sandra says her face was smirking when you held her, but she will do because she doesn't mind being embraced and looked at because she's a survivor. I'm a survivor. I am a giver. I am. See, she's a survivor.
I've been in a fire.
Yeah. So she's a good girl. She's a good girl, not like the other thing that's now facing the wall and been told off to shut up. Behave. Like Dole, Kev has joined us.
Hi, Kev.
Better late than never, Kev. Never mind.
What been up to, Kev?
Stephanie, when I was a teen, I collected porcelain dolls, and one night the whole lot all slid off the end of the shelf of my bed like someone swept them off. Yes, because they're evil.
No, they're not evil.
Yeah, even Spirit don't like dolls.
They're not evil.
They are. It feels. Yeah, I'm with you. Sod that. You know, I always remember that Nan used to have a porcelain dolls at her old house. 3 of them. There used to be, and one of them was a jester, a court jester.
I remember that.
Yeah, it was awful looking thing. Awful looking thing it was. No, I don't know. It could still be. They might still be in the loft, but I know they was in Grandad's room most of the time. On his, not on Nan. They weren't in Nan's room, but I do remember that I really didn't like that one. But yes, you know, anything can really happen.
Yeah.
Right, guys, we've got only about 10 more minutes left. So if you've got any questions that you want to throw at us, please throw it across to us. Any more for any more. Please just remember, guys, we are based at White Elm Garden Centre over in Bicknaker, CM34LR in Essex. For all your spiritual bits, we are open most days apart from Monday, but we are open this Monday. We are doing a special. If you want a reading or a healing, it is a £20 session for the Monday only. I do believe that we have got a couple of spaces left. I don't think we've got a lot.
I can't tell you when, but if you want one, email us and we'll see if we can fit you in.
Yep, that is fine. And as Natalie is also in the chat somewhere as well, I've seen Natalie. Natalie is the owner of the Bug Hut. So if you are interested in spiders or any creepy, crawly looking things, the best place in Essex is visit the Bug Hut. Yeah. And if you also visit the Bug Hut, please visit their sister store as well, the Reptile Hut, for all your reptile needs, from lights, bulbs and snakes and everything like that. All your foods, please go and sort them out for you. All right, there's Natalie in the chat. So all they're lovely, all they're same. They're right opposite us. So if you find us, Cyrus, if you find our little shop, you'll be right. We're right opposite the two nutters, so they'll be in and around as well. All right. Kev said my Facebook was not logging in. I had invites from ladies who wanted me. Not sure what was going on.
Oh, it's all right. Just pass them invites on to info. No.
But no, it's all good, guys. So is there any more questions? Any more questions?
Yeah,
for any more
Wendy's
questions?
put one in there.
Oh?
Wendy, put one in there.
Oh, yeah. What is a famous person past would you love to connect with?
Oh, no,
That
that's
is a
really
good question. That is
Harry Price. Harry Price. Every day of the week. No, he wasn't that well. So he wasn't that famous. He was famous, but from a paranormal world, it would be Harry Price. Maybe Derek Okora. Now you've got me really going.
Does it need to be from the paranormal
No,
world?
but I'm saying from a paranormal.
All right.
From a paranormal world. Okay, outside of paranormal world.
That's a tough one.
That is a tough one.
Kev would like to go with Alistair Crowley. Crowley. For him. Who would I like to talk to? There's so many I would like to talk to.
Yeah, there is so many.
I resent nutters. I prefer lunatics.
Okay, lunatics.
We've all been let out this weekend, so come and visit us all. All right, we're all. Who would I like to? I don't really know, but I would like to. I think I'd like to speak to Tesla, Nikola Tesla. That would be one of my many. I also would like. There's so many because there's so many bits that fascinate me with the conspiracy side of things. So, you know, likes of like Princess Diana. I'd love to speak to Princess Diana. You know,
I'd like to speak to Matthew Hopkins.
yeah.
I'd love to speak.
Well, we have speak to Matthew Hopkins.
Yeah, but on his, but he won't. He would never stand and talk to you as a why did it?
Jill Dando, another one. But these are all like my conspiracy side of things. You know, we've crossed paths with Lord Nelson at the most randomest place ever. But yeah,
Elvis.
yeah. I would like to speak to Diana, Adolf Hitler, and the dead Chuckle Brother. It's a very, very random selection, but I Adolf Hitler, definitely I'd love to speak to him. And I'd say that in the most nicest of terms because, once again, this gentleman spent more on finding the Templars' treasure than he did going to war. That is, that's amazing. That's amazing stat.
Yeah, just,
He spent more money on trying to find the Ark of the Covenant. What was the Ark, the Holy Grail, the Solomon's he spent more money trying to find that. So that would be why, did he find it? I have a feeling he did. Hold on.
Brother.
To me, to you, the same, so many to be. I'd love to speak to Anne Boleyn.
Yeah. Good one.
I'd love to see what was going on and spoken to with anyone famous. I'd love that. I was going to say, have you spoken to anyone famous? Lord Nelson. We've crossed, you could, loosely. I think you have spoken to Anne Boleyn. Was it Anne Boleyn?
Yes.
On the bridge of Beeley Lock.
Yeah. No, it was Lady Jane Grey there.
Sorry, Lady Jane.
But I have spoken to Anne Boleyn in Rochford.
As Julie said, we got Marconi at Stamford Mill.
Yes.
Yeah, so that, the Marconi stuff, fantastic. Sandra said she'd love to speak to Doris Stokes. What a lady. So yeah, there's so many you'd like to talk to. And there was just one more question. I know Steph put a question in. I think her was the occultist of the gang. Yeah, it was definitely so. Very, very, very much linked to Adolf there. There was Well, that's amazing, Simon. So there's so many. There was a question, but I've lost the question. But it won't let me go up for some strange reason. This is ridiculous. Oh, that's it. Do you find people attract certain spirits? I pick up, connect with women more than I do others.
I think if a spirit wants to get hold of you, it'll get hold of you. I don't.
Yeah.
Connect with women. That might be your guide and your
Potential.
team round you, Steph, that prefer to work that way.
I agree. I do agree. I think if someone wants to get hold of you, eventually, Kev, eventually, all right, we'll let you know in due course, all right? We'll let you know in due course, all right? Right, guys, we have come towards the end of the show. I don't think I've got any more announcements to make. If I forgot anything, I do apologise. But please, guys, if you want to, you can come and visit us anytime at the White Elm Garden Centre at CM34LR. There's loads more coming, guys. There's loads more at the centre. So just not come to see us. The Bug Hut. You can come and see the Reptile Hut. You can come and get your sweets. You can come and get your hair done. You can get a new tattoo done. I think you can even get a tan sooner rather than later. You can come and get your dog's hair cut. You can come and get your makeup done.
Yeah.
You name it. It is all
fish.
there.
Get your fish.
Get your fish. You can get your fish. A lovely aquatic sentence there. Loads, and get your plants as well because it's in the garden centre.
And you can get a nice cup of tea and bun in the tea rooms. Lovely tea rooms.
Exactly. So thank you ever so much for everyone that has joined us tonight. I don't know what the real time is. I've got two different times. Is the thanks, chaps. See you bright and well, there's a difference between bright and early, Jim, at the moment. I'll see you, chap, bright and early in the morning. White Elm Shopping Village is the new Rodeo Drive. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Yes, very nearly 10. I've got 57 on one and I've got 54 on the other. So 54. I don't really.
It's 54.
Yeah, that's going by the computer. My computer's saying the same, but the live running clock is saying 57. So Lisa has been watching. Lisa, we'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Natalie says looking forward on Sunday. Thank you. See you tomorrow. Look forward to you seeing you then. All bright and early, nice and early. All right. So, guys, take care, stay safe, and we'll all see you next week. Take care, guys. See you later. Thank you for everybody that has joined us. See you next week in Portsmouth and on the 24-hour reading and cleansing session. Yeah, we've got a big day on the 27th, so we'll see you there, Flugel. All right, then. 54 on the watch and phone. But no, take care, guys. Stay safe.
Listening.
And we'll see you all over the next couple of weeks. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Good night.